Okay, our topic today is self-confidence, and I thought what I would start doing is taking our mastermind group meetings that we have on Friday mornings and use those as our information source for our podcast because they are really, really good. And after all, it is about growing your business, and the Napoleon Hill's law of success. After talking about the definite chief aim, the topic that we're on this month is self-confidence and why self-confidence is important. So this morning we talked about the definition of self-confidence, and part of a theory states that it's built on someone's belief in the likelihood of their future success. So those that believe they have the ability to influence the events of their lives have very high self-confidence, while those that feel that they're not in control or that they have no impact on what's going to happen to them in the future are those that have low self-confidence. And our self-confidence is built on our past experiences. So with all of that said, the discussion went to what's the difference between self-confidence and self-esteem. So we're all born with this inherent ability or drive to want to explore our environment. And self-esteem is actually a result of our basic needs being met, relatedness, competence, autonomy. And that when our needs are met, we have everything that we need in order to experience this healthy self-esteem. And that self-esteem is what allows us to grow as a person. So self-esteem, unlike self-confidence, is a very stable trait, and it doesn't change much unless you put in a lot of dedicated effort to improve it. And so, by contrast, self-confidence doesn't take into consideration any beliefs about your worthiness or your overall value. Rather, it focuses on the ability to succeed and beliefs, your beliefs about your likelihood of succeeding. Self-esteem is about the success you feel you deserve. While self-confidence is about the success that you feel you're capable of achieving. So those that have self-confidence definitely have better overall health. They have more time for their families, their friends. They know how to set boundaries. They have better relationships. Their performance at work is improved. There's just a lot of reasons why self-confidence is important. But the reason, where does that come from and how do we get it if we don't have it now? We talked a lot today about the fact that the whole reason why knowing what your purpose is and knowing what your definite chief aim is that's what builds self-confidence. When you know that you're doing the right thing and you're on the right path, that gives self-confidence. So we use the example today in a couple of movie clips, and I don't know if you guys have seen the movie. I'm sure you have, but Catch Me If You Can. To me, it's a great example of someone that has got great self-confidence. There was one scene where he was actually changing schools. He had been going to a public school, and he shows up to a public school. He's got his private school jacket on, and he walks in, and the kids are making fun of him. But as soon as he walks into the class, they look at him. They knew they were expecting a substitute teacher, so they assumed that it was him. And as soon as he realized that, he immediately assumed the role with all the confidence in the world that he was the teacher, the substitute teacher for that day. And there's several things throughout that movie that show that with his self-confidence, he was able to do so many things. Of course, He forged checks, and that's how he made his money. But his father, at an early age, poured a lot of self-confidence into him, told him he could do anything, be anything. And that's where a lot of that self-confidence, or the ability to use it or believe in it, came from. So there are some common characteristics of these people, much like in the movie. People that are self-confident, they do what they believe to be is right. They don't care if they're criticized for it. They're willing to take risk, willing to go the extra mile to get what they want. They're able to admit when they've made a mistake. They learn from their mistakes. They accept compliments with grace and gratitude. 3 things that truly confident people have as well is that they don't mind trying new things, even if they've never done it before. So that lack of fear. They don't let others influence their decision or influence them to do something. They have let go of their inhibitions, and they let their guard down. So they show some vulnerability. So self-confidence is great and it's good, but there is a line. And when that line is crossed to where it's unhealthy, you cross over into arrogance. And arrogance is this thing that separates the people that can do from those that can do way better single-handedly with my eyes closed. And it's the quality that rubs all of us the wrong way. And we know it when we see it. We can spot arrogance a mile away. Confidence stems, though, from positivity and optimism, where arrogance is the result of insecurities and fear. An arrogant person only feels smart if those around them feel stupid. Arrogant people like to talk about themselves a lot. So kind of narcissistic. A major difference in these two is how they view blame. Confident people will admit that they're wrong, but arrogant people will rely on they look for others to push the blame out onto someone else. So again, as we look at the law of success, and we look at how this one interplays with the very first one, which is knowing what your definite chief aim is, it's extremely important. It's not something I think that you go about getting. Like I said, I believe that once you know what your definite chief aim is, that self-confidence just kind of naturally shows up because you're in your zone. And that's why we talk a lot about the definite chief aim here at the Chamber, because when you're on your right path, when you're doing the right thing in your business, everything you need will show up. It just appears, and it's not a struggle. And if you're struggling and trying to find your way, and you're fighting obstacles, and it's nothing but an uphill battle, to me that's a sign that, are you on the right path? Are you doing the right thing? Are you using your talents? So that's what we talked about today. We're going to be on this topic for the month of March. So I'll share with you what we talk about next Friday. Well, next Friday we won't be here, but we'll keep sharing the conversations that we have in our mastermind. And one of these days, if you can, come join us. We meet every Friday at 8 a.m. on Fridays here at the Chamber. Until then, make it a great week, a great day, a great month, and a great year.